On a cold March morning in 1912, the Blue Ridge mountain town of Hillsville, Virginia, would change forever when gunfire erupted in the Carroll County Courthouse.
There were 5 people murdered in open court that morning.
And there were 57 shots fired in here, probably about 90 seconds.
And that still to this day remains as the most egregious crime to occur during an open court proceeding in the history of the United States.
It was a tragedy. Most of the newspapers called it a massacre.
It was front page news on papers all the way to California.
Until the Titanic sank and knocked it off the front pages.
Today, Hillsville, Virginia is like many small southern towns. But in 1912, it was more like the scene of an old Western movie.
Everybody carried a gun for the most part. You know, you had to. People were mean in those days. If you look at some of the old records, I mean, you know, there were murders every week.
To survive in Carroll County in 1912, in the early 1900s, you had to be industrious. You had to work hard. You had to protect yourself. You had to be tough or you didn't survive. And it was the frontier. It was survival of the fittest sometimes.
People think it's bad now. It was worse in those days.
And then there were the politics.
There was a tremendous, I think, amount of tension in Carroll County about whose side you were on. Were you a Republican or were you a Democrat? Because there was a long history of conflict between these two sides.
And the leaders of those two sides were Clerk of Court Dexter Goad and local businessman Floyd Allen.
Floyd Allen was a Democrat, and he was a staunch Democrat and kind of the leader of the Democratic faction below Fancy Gap Mountain. But the county was run by Republicans.
On the day of the shootout, Floyd Allen was on trial for an altercation with a Carroll County deputy.
He's got a big mouth and a hot temper, and he's going around the community saying, I'll tell you one thing, if they convict me, I'm going to shoot a big hole in that courthouse.
Because of the political tension, the Allen family and court officials had come that day armed and ready for trouble.
We're in this electric courtroom situation with the clerk of court having shown up contrary to the law with 2 pistols and the Commonwealth attorney armed and all the Allens armed.
Trouble came when the jury found Floyd Allen guilty.
Floyd Allen was an older gentleman, and he had made his way through life by doing whatever it took to make things work. And I think he encountered a different situation, and he was sentenced to a year in prison and stood up and said, I ain't a-going.
And with those words, bullets started to fly.
And 57 shots were fired in 90 seconds.
When the smoke cleared, the sheriff, the judge, the prosecutor were all dead. A juror and a witness would later die too.
I think the environment that was created the day of the shootout was a joint effort. There was a lot of electricity in the air that day that was the result of a lot of high energy. We're going to get these guys from the Republican establishment and a lot of high energy from the Allens that, by God, there's no way in the world we're going to put up with this if they try to put us in jail.
The shootout was the point where things just boiled over.
There probably was blame on either side. If you really get to the story of it, it's a situation that probably just got out of hand and nobody intended to ever happen. And there are probably a lot of good lessons to be learned in this story if we would learn them.
The divide between political parties and families has continued for generations. In our next episode, we're going to look for the answer to that one question that has haunted this community for over 100 years. Who fired the first shot?
There were probably at least 5 different versions of who fired the first shot.
In Hillsville, Virginia, Chad Tucker, Fox 8 News.